Hello, Imaginers. It is Kyla coaching you to the career and life that you imagined. I am in gorgeous California, and it seemed like the perfect place to talk about borrowed beliefs. I talked last week about what I think is the paradox of the human condition, which is the conflict between our urge for safety and our biology for safety and also for evolution. And that I had enough belief systems that I could overcome some of the fear I had about traveling again and use those to forge ahead. And it got me thinking about beliefs that we can borrow from other people or even from ourselves. I often borrow beliefs that I have about travel and use them in other areas of my life. And a great example of that is I have belief systems that I'm grateful my family gave me around traveling, that is, safety can be achieved in travel with planning. And so I have a belief system that with some planning, you can be safe while you're traveling, and that serves me. And with some planning, I can also be safe in my business, in my coaching business, in my entrepreneurship. And I use that borrowed belief from myself to continue to forge ahead when I'm not necessarily feeling safe in my business. And I can use something that is very well worn in my brain. I have a very well worn neural pathway habit for travel, and I kind of borrow some of that for other areas of my life. And I started thinking about California has an incredible reputation for innovation, for technology innovation, for artistic innovation, and I often wonder if some of those pioneers borrowed beliefs from the landscape, which is so inspiring, from people that came before them, innovators, artists that came before them, and that those borrowed beliefs is what compelled them and helped them to overcome some of those fears that they had to move forward. I was recently watching the new version of A Star Is Born with Bradley Cooper, and I remember an interview that he gave where he talked about spending a year learning to play the piano. He actually changed his voice a different octave to sing in the movie. He had to change his voice, his acting voice, an octave as well to play this character that had a lower voice. And the vulnerability that must have stirred up in him while he was performing. And I think often of artists, technologists as people who are putting themselves out in the world and not really knowing what's going to happen. I mean, let's face it, there's a lot of social shaming that goes on. There could be business shaming that goes on if you don't think a product that someone has innovated is going to be successful in the market. And yet those people continue to forge ahead, even though they may not be met with success, even though their craft, their invention may not be met with success. So on the road to your life imagined, I hope that you will think this week about what is a belief system that I already have that serves me in some other area of my life that I might be able to borrow for an area of my life that I want to go after. That small step that I often talk about. If you were going to take that small step and you were going to be brave, what could you borrow from yourself or someone else that would help you take that step forward? Check out my website at kylamartinconsulting.com for some free resources. And you know that I'm cheering you on to the career and life that you imagined. Go take a small step and borrow belief. Take care, everyone.